Normal up camera, please. Go on.
In for the Braves, number 20, Jimmy Garcia Brooks. Number 31, Jamal James.
Welcome to the WIAA Network. We're this afternoon at the Tacoma Dome in the city of Destiny. It is the Morton-White Pass Timberwolves ready to take on the LaConner Braves in this 2B semifinal matchup. How you doing, folks? This is Mike Brown coming to you live from the Tacoma Dome. Morton-White Pass ready to kick it off, and it will be the place kicker. Brian Reynolds puts his foot into the ball, kicks it down. It's going to be knocked around the 30-yard line, fumbled by LaConner, and it looks like the Timberwolves of Morton-White Pass may have come up with the football. Let's see what the call is. It is indeed the Timberwolves who will recover the fumbled kickoff return, and they will take over in great field position just inside the 30-yard line of LaConner. So some mistakes right off the bat in this semifinal matchup. That is not the kind of start you want if you're John Lee and the LaConner Braves. John Lee, the head coach of LaConner, I'm sure not very happy with the start of this game right here. So Morton-White Pass with a very explosive offense will take over 1st and 10. They are at the 29-yard line of the Braves. 1st and 10 under center at Sean Hulbert. He's going to check that. That's Ryland Kolb. He'll hand it off, and they're going to get a short gain on the very first play from scrimmage as Brian Reynolds will run it for Morton-White Pass. The Timberwolves, located in Sasquatch country, right between Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier, making the trip up under the direction of their head coach, Aaron Poquette, now in his 2nd season. Poquette, real nice guy. Talked to him a little bit before the game. He says he's ready to get to work here in the semifinal round. Under center again, Ryland Kolb. He'll fake the handoff. Now it looks like a broken play. He turns. He's going to be swarmed under and dropped for a short loss on 2nd down. So that'll bring up 3rd and about 6 for the Timberwolves. Again, getting this drive started after a muffed kickoff return on the part of the LaConner Braves. Just underway here. Semifinal round. These two teams hoping to play again next weekend right here at the Tacoma Dome in the finals, but only one of them gets to go. So here we go on 3rd and 5. Kolb under center. He'll take the snap, hand it off. Second man through. That is number 22, Gianni Bertucci, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. Some zigzagging right up the middle, and that produces some good yardage and enough to move the sticks. And the Timberwolves now advancing to the 15-yard line of LaConner. LaConner being coached by John Lee, now in his 3rd season, making the trip down from Skagit country down here to Pierce County where the Tacoma Dome is located. Timberwolves looking to strike first blood. After picking up the muffed kick return, they'll hand it off, and this time it's going to go to Brian Reynolds off the left side. A short gain as he moves it inside the 15-yard line. 10:08 to go, clock running just underway here at the Tacoma Dome. The winner of this game looking to move on next weekend and take on the winner of the Waitsburg-Prescott game. They're taking on Lynn Richville Sprague tomorrow. But first things first, got to get through this one and a long way to go. As Kolb will look over the LaConner defense. Now under center, 3-man backfield. He'll hand it off. Second man, Gianni Bertucci will take it. Picked up the 1st down last time he carried. He's going to get just a short gain right here as he pushes ahead for maybe 2 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 to be exact, for the Timberwolves. They got 1 first down so far, now looking to keep the drive alive by picking up 7, maybe 7.5 yards right here is what they're going to need. They got to get down to the 5-yard line of LaConner. Let's see what head coach Aaron Poquette has up his sleeve. Working with a 3-man backfield, 1 man split out wide right. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to go left side. Bertucci's got the ball, trying to get around the edge. He's not going to get there as he is going to be brought down on a great effort defensively by number 45. And that looks like Zach Harris coming up with the big tackle and keeping the Timberwolves from converting on 3rd. Now it'll be 4th and long, and let's see if they go for it or try to bring on the place kicker, Brian Reynolds. Reynolds was the ball carrier on the last play. Not able to pick up the 1st down, and it looks like the Timberwolves may go for it here. Figure if they don't get it, they will at least have LaConner pinned deep in their own territory, and they weren't expected to have the ball this soon anyway. They did get it on the muff kickoff return. Here comes the snap from center. Rolling right, Colby throws. He's got a man, and just off the fingertips of the intended receiver. That was number 42, and Ben Powell couldn't quite gather it in. So the Timberwolves will give up the ball on downs here on their first possession of the game. 8:11 to go in the first quarter of play, no score, and LaConner will take over on offense for the first time in the game. This is the second of 3 games of semifinal action in state playoffs here at the Tacoma Dome. Linden was an easy winner over Capital in the first game of the day, 48-21. Dominating performance by the Lions of Linden. Snap from center out of the shotgun. Here comes the handoff, an inside handoff by Sean Hulbert, gives it to Dalton Zavala, and he's not going to pick up very much at all as the Timberwolf defense was ready for that play right there. The Timberwolves have gotten to the semifinal round, first by defeating Adna 42-zip, and then they slapped the 35-6 victory over Mossy Rock in the quarterfinal. So they've given up just 6 points in 2 games so far in the postseason. Snap from center. That goes to Hulbert. He'll take it right up the middle. And he's going to pick up some decent yardage. He's going to be close to the first down. He will be short, however, and that'll bring up a third down situation for the Braves. LaConner hoping to get off to a pretty good start here offensively. Morton-White Pass, a very, very tough 2B team. In fact, the Timberwolves made it to the finals last year before losing. Snap from center out of the shotgun. Hulbert going to take it right back up the middle again, and he's going to pick up the first down and more. He'll crash past the 25-yard line, and that'll move the sticks for the Braves, and that's got to make them feel pretty good. Starting deep in their own territory, they now have moved the ball up to the 26-yard line. First and 10, 7:07 to go here in the first quarter of play. Clock starts up once again. No score between LaConner and Morton-White Pass. Hulbert working out of the shotgun. Got trips right, now sends a man in motion. He'll instead hand it off to the man standing right next to him. That is number 15, Dalton Zavala. He busts a tackle, now works his way up the near sideline and finally cut down at midfield by Taylor Swanson. But not before he picks up a big 23 yards on the play. And LaConner coming out and asserting themselves early here on this first possession. They are right at midfield after that big play by Dalton Zavala. And right back to work go the Braves, not wasting any time out of the shotgun. Here's Hulbert handing off again to Zavala. He skips by one man, turns the corner on the left side, and busts through past the 45-yard line and going to get all the way down to the 41. Wow, LaConner able to run the ball here out of this spread offense under the direction of head coach John Lee, again in his 3rd season heading up the Braves program. LaConner getting to the semifinals when a lot of people did not think they would get this far. Had a pretty good year coming in at 11-1 overall. Their only loss back in week 3, that was to Friday Harbor, and they got clobbered pretty good. Snap from center, out of the shotgun. Here's Hulbert rolling right, throws deep downfield. Intended receiver gets knocked down, no flag as he was overthrown. 2 officials right on the play, and they didn't see any penalties, so that'll bring up a 3rd and short. 3rd and 1 for Sean Hulbert and the LaConner Braves. Again, losing their only game of the season so far to Friday Harbor, and according to head coach John Lee, they have been a different team ever since. It was kind of a wake-up call, he said, and it really got their focus down to what needs to be done on the field, showing nothing but business. Now a man jumps on the defense, or was it on offense? We got a flag here. Let's get it sorted out. We did see one man on the defensive line for the Timberwolves jump, but was he drawn offside or not? And the officials say it is going to be against the Timberwolves. That will result in an automatic first down as it'll move the ball forward 5 yards. And that is something any offense will take. That's an easy way to pick up a first down on 3rd. So make it 1st and 10 now for the Braves. Very productive drive to this point. They're at the 36-yard line of Morton. Snap from center. Hulbert going to take it right up the middle. He's going to be met right when he gets to the line of scrimmage. So really not much of a gain at all for Sean Hulbert. No score in the ball game. We have 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. These two teams, just one loss between them. 11-1 for LaConner against the undefeated 11-0 Morton-White Pass Timberwolves. Starting to feel the heat defensively as LaConner has been moving the ball. Hulbert credited with a gain of about 1 yard on the last play. Now takes the snap out of the shotgun, throws over the middle, slant pattern, and goes off the hands of the intended receiver. That was Jamal James. Couldn't quite hang on. Probably should have made that catch right there, and he's not too happy with himself. So it brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 now for the Braves. LaConner likes to spread the field out. They'll often do so with 2 backs. We haven't seen that too much so far. Just 1 back there right now in Dalton Zavala. On 3rd and long, they send a man in motion from right to left. Handoff Zavala up the middle, trying to catch the defense off. He's got to pick up some yardage, but not enough for the first down as he gets dropped at about the 30-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th down and some substantial yardage to pick up the first. So will LaConner bring on the field goal unit or just go for it? It is not uncommon to see teams go for it on 4th down in high school. This is a 4th and 5 situation. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert sending a man in motion, fakes the handoff to 2 different guys, now rolls right, flips over, has a man open. That's going to be enough for the first down as he connects with Jimmy Brooks. He eludes 1 man, makes a miss, and then drops forward to about the 20-yard line, and that'll move the sticks once again for the LaConner Braves. Looking very sharp on offense on this opening possession of the ball game. This drive started back around the 15-yard line. They're now at the 20 of Morton-White Pass. Fresh set of downs as the clock runs with 4:10 to go first quarter. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert has a back to either side. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. No tight end as the snap from center comes, throws to the right side. They set up the screen, and being cut down after a short game is Hudson Zavala. He did pick up a few yards on the play, though, and that will move the ball forward. So another set of downs here for LaConner, picking up 3, make that 4 yards as they spot the ball at the 21. So 2nd and 6. 2 receivers to either side. They'll send a man in motion. That's Jimmy Brooks. Here comes the throw over to Brooks in the flat left side. He's going to crash through a couple of defenders and pick up a few yards. And that'll get him a little bit closer to another first down. They got to get to about the 10-yard line to get a fresh set. And boy, LaConner is eating up some time on this drive as well. We're coming down to about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score between LaConner and Morton-White Pass. The Braves trying to come up with the right play right here on 3rd and 4. They only picked up 1 yard on that last screen pass. Here comes a snap from center. Fake the handoff to the first guy. Second man through is going to get it, though. That's Dalton Zavala, and he's not going to get too much. Maybe a couple. He will definitely be short of the first down, and we do have a flag on the play. So we got to get that sorted out first. Here comes the official with the preliminary indication of holding. That is going to go against LaConner. And that will definitely mess up their plans as they're going to get backed up 10 yards. It's a spot foul, so they'll mark it off from where the infraction occurred. But it will definitely take them back to at least the 23-yard line. Let's see, make it the 24, it looks like. That's where they'll spot the ball. And it will remain 3rd down, but 3rd and 14 for the Braves. Going to have to come up with something big right here, although chances are they would go for it on 4th anyway. So let's see what Sean Hulbert and the Braves have up their sleeve. They have 3 men wide right. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert fakes, now throws right, and downfield he overthrows his man. In fact, the ball was almost intercepted at the goal line. Having a beat on it was Rylan Kolb, couldn't come up with it, and it will be 4th and 14. The place kicker for LaConner is Taylor Swanson. But they are not sending him on the field at this particular point. It would be a 41-yard attempt approximately if they went for the field goal, but instead they're going to go for it on 4th and 14. Out of the shotgun, one man behind him. Here's Hulbert rolling right now as he takes the snap. He throws right side, going to overthrow this intended receiver, Hudson Zavala. And the Braves will give the ball up on downs, just like Morton-White Pass did on their first possession. It was a very productive and time-consuming drive for LaConner, but they come away with no points. As we have 2:23 to go here in the first quarter of play, still a scoreless ball game between the Braves and the Timberwolves. Morton-White Pass located in Randall, Washington. Lost in the state title game last year to Waitsburg Prescott, 33-7. So they're on a mission to take it all the way this year under the direction of Aaron Poquette. Rylan Cole under center, fakes the handoff to the first man, and the second man makes contact with the ball just before two white shirts nail him and drop him for a loss. LaConner was all over that play defensively. Morton-White Pass in their green top uniforms with the white letters and orange trim. They have the orange helmets as well, black pants with the orange stripe down the side. Meantime, LaConner with the white top uniforms. They are the visiting team officially, blue letters and blue pants with the silver helmets and blue trim. 2nd and 12 after the 2-yard loss on first down. Back to pass, Kolb looking deep. He's got great protection, fakes a throw. Still great protection. Now lobs one downfield. He's got a man open, but he can't hold on. Just maybe a little bit too deep was the throw there, but it looked like the intended receiver had a shot at hauling that one in. Just a little bit too far on the play. Brian Reynolds could not come up with it, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Great protection by the offensive line of the Timberwolves that featured Tyler Moore at center, Tommy Seaman and Tanner St. Clair are the guards, Ben Wright and Zach Counts are the starting tackles. They're going to have to do it again right here on 3rd and 12. 1:33 to go, first quarter, no score. Back to pass is Kolb again, straight back. Great protection again, looks straight over the middle, and he connects with his intended receiver. That is number 22, Bertucci. And he makes the reception, but I don't think he's got enough for the first down. And if that is indeed the case, the Timberwolves will be forced to punt. Yep, they're going to come up about 3 yards short. So they'll bring on Brian Reynolds to do the punting right here. Reynolds, of course, one of the starting running backs for the Timberwolves, so he is dangerous and could fake a punt and go for it. So the Braves will have to keep an eye out for that. In this case, though, he's going to boot it away, and it's a good kick, too, as it goes over the head of the deep man, Jimmy Brooks, and it will be down by the Timberwolves at the 27-yard line of LaConner. No score. Getting near the end of the first quarter of play, just 49 seconds left. LaConner and Morton showing a lot of defense in the game so far. My name is Mike Brown. Glad you could join me for the broadcast here on the WIAA Network, sponsored by the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires. Lots of football going on here in the Tacoma Dome this weekend, a total of 7 semifinal games. One in the books already is at the 2A level. Linden easily beat Capital 48-21. This is the second of the 7 games. LaConner running the ball straight up the middle on first down. The handoff goes to Dalton Zavala. He takes it right up the middle for a healthy gain of about 6 yards. Moves the ball to the 32-yard line of LaConner and brings up a 2nd and 5. Yeah, so he got 5 on that first down play. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert will take it and run it up the middle. Now he cuts left, gets tripped up, keeps his balance, and then plows forward and picks up the first down. Nice play by Sean Hulbert right there to keep his balance and get enough for the first down and move the sticks. Hulbert looked like he was going to go straight up the middle, but he didn't see any daylight there, so he cut to his left, and a defender got in there and got a hand on a foot, but not enough to drop him, and he kept his balance and moved forward and picked up the first down. Now it looks like we might have a timeout on the field here. Nope, that's going to be the end of the first quarter. A quick first quarter as well, and we are scoreless between LaConner and Morton. And we'll be back with the second quarter action right after this timeout on the WIAA network.
The future of our state is very important to Washington dairy farmers.
And it starts with our youth. The dairy farmers of Washington have been partnering with the WIAA for years. Sports are very important in building good work ethic.
They help students by teaching them discipline, teamwork, dedication, and preparing them for the challenges that they're going to have later in life.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington encourage you to support local youth by attending WIAA championship events.
Welcome back to the Tacoma Dome. Mike Brown here, bringing you the live play-by-play action of this 2B semifinal matchup between the LaConner Braves and the Morton-White Pass Timberwolves. No score through one quarter of play, and we will begin quarter number 2 with LaConner in possession of the ball. LaConner likes to mix it up a lot, do a lot of play action on offense, and we've seen quite a bit of that already today. This is just their second possession of the game, though. Their first one was a drive of about 75 yards. They came away with no points, though, as the Timberwolves defense held. But LaConner was able to move the ball and got 4 first downs on that opening possession. They already picked up 1 here on this second possession. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. Check that, 1st and 10, as we got a couple of penalty markers being thrown right at the snap of the football. This one's going to go against LaConner. They were penalized earlier in the game on a 3rd down. It was a 3rd and 4, backed them up to 3rd and 14 when they were deep in Morton-White Pass territory, and that kind of wrecked their drive. Now let's see what happens here is instead of 1st and 10, they're going to get backed up 5 yards to make it 1st and 15 from the 34-yard line of the Braves. Snap from center to Hulbert out of the shotgun. He'll hand it off to one of the backs in the backfield. He's going to get dropped right as he gets to the line of scrimmage. May have even lost a little bit. Ball carrier was Jimmy Brooks. So not too much there for Brooks as he gets taken down by Spencer Seymour. Shed his blocker and was able to bring down the ball carrier for no gain. So it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Braves. Hulbert again out of the shotgun, got 2 wide receivers to either side, throws to the right side. Catch is going to be made over there, and working his way forward for about 6 yards is Hudson Zavala. And he's going to get back the penalty yardage and a little bit more, but it's still going to bring up a 3rd and long for LaConner. Boy, Hulbert stands tall in the pocket back there for the Braves. He very much knows how to direct this team, and Hulbert is just a junior. This is his first year as a starting quarterback, so the future certainly looks bright for him. He's been leading this offense all season long and has him at 11-1 overall in this semifinal matchup. Now sends a man in motion, does Hulbert. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Looks back, straight down the field, going to heave it, and it's going to be intercepted by the Timberwolves. He overthrew his intended receiver, and picking it off is Tyler Barnett. And that's going to set things up pretty well for Morton-White Pass, as they're going to have good field position at their own 40, make that the 39-yard line. So Hulbert just overthrew his man, a little bit too much air under the ball, and it easily picked off. So Tyler Barnett gets the ball back for the Timberwolves. That is the first turnover of the game. Well, actually the second, because on the opening kickoff, LaConner kind of muffed the opening kickoff, and it was recovered by Morton-White Pass. So now the Timberwolves, 1st and 10 from their own 39. They'll hand it off. Working his way right side is Reynolds. Doesn't see much there. Tries to cut it upfield. And he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, if that. That's where they set the ball down. They're going to spot it right on the 40-yard line. So he picked up maybe a half a yard, and that's it. So both defenses remaining pretty tough here. We got a shutout on both sides. Clock winding down to about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Mike Brown here, bringing you the play-by-play action of this semifinal matchup on the WIAA network. Snap from center. Here's Kolb throwing right side. Slant pattern. It's going to be complete. And picking up the first down and plenty more is the receiver. Let's get a number on that one right there. Looks like Caleb Dunlap. A big play for him right there as he takes the ball down to the 40-yard line of LaConner. Pickup of 17 yards. And that's the biggest play of the afternoon so far for the Timberwolves on offense. So 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of LaConner. 3-man backfield as the handoff goes to the first man through, and getting nowhere is Spencer Seymour. Now Seymour doing a pretty good job on defense, not able to do much with the ball right there on his first carry of the afternoon. Picked up maybe a yard, so I'll make it 2nd and a long 9 from just inside the 40-yard line of LaConner. 9:13 clock running here in the second quarter of play. The winner of this game will play the winner of tomorrow's semifinal matchup between Waitsburg Prescott and Lynn Ritzville Sprague. That one being played over in Eastern Washington tomorrow. Here comes another slant pattern. The pass is juggled and dropped by the intended receiver, Jeff Fenberg. So make it 3rd and a long 9 for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves have had one big play of 17 yards, that on this drive. Their 3rd of the ball game. But have not really done a whole lot of damage outside of that. 3 and out on their last possession. So let's see what they can do right here on 3rd and a long 9. From just inside the 40-yard line of LaConner, they'll send a man in motion. Kolb under center, drops straight back. 7-step drop, throws right side. It's going to be picked off. Coming back the other way, the big return is number 34, Levi Paul. He's going to get dropped in Timberwolves territories. He gets to the 45-yard line. So some tit for tat there after the Timberwolves intercepted Sean Hulbert. Here comes the Braves intercepting Ryland Kolb. And Kolb badly threw that pass, or somebody badly ran a route. And that was easily picked off and returned to the 44-yard line. So now LaConner being set up in outstanding field position in Timberwolf territory with an opportunity to take advantage of the turnover. That's 3 turnovers in the ball game now overall. Pretty uncharacteristic of these two teams. So Hulbert out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap, hand it off, first man through. He is going nowhere. Dalton Zavala is going to get dropped in the backfield. And looks like he got dropped by Spencer Seymour. So excellent play by Seymour. He's done that once already in this ball game. So I'll give him 2 tackles for loss. That's going to be a loss of 4 yards. Backs the ball up to the 48-yard line. Clock running, 8:08 to go, second quarter. No score between LaConner and Morton-White Pass. High snap from center out of the shotgun. Hulbert hauls it in, throws a screen pass right side. Going to be hauled in by Brooks. He eludes one tackler, then works his way up the right side. Picks up the yardage they lost on first down and maybe a yard or 2 more. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Braves, just inside the 45 of Morton-White Pass. Couple of rather small schools turning out a pretty decent crowd on either side, but neither one's had a whole lot to get excited about to this point, as we have a scoreless ball game with 7.5 to go, second quarter. Handoff comes to the near side. This is Dalton Zavala. He's going to get dropped in the backfield. Great tackle on the pursuit by Jeff Fenberg and drops him for a loss. That's going to set up a 4th and 11, and I think LaConner's going to have to punt it away here. As much as teams like to go for it on 4th down, this is probably not the right situation to go for it. Or, wait a minute, John Lee is saying, yep, let's give it a shot anyway. He likes the way his defense is playing. So he's going to send the offensive unit out there and see if they can convert on 4th and 12. The ball is at the 46-yard line of Morton-White Pass. Hulbert out of the shotgun, calling signals. And now a whistle and I think a timeout, and maybe the Braves will send out the punting unit. I think they want to talk it over here. So we have a timeout on the field here, and we'll take a break as well. Back with more right here on the WIAA Network.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
We are back at the Tacoma Dome in the City of Destiny, Tacoma, Washington, a scoreless ball game between LaConner and Morton-White Pass. My name is Mike Braun. Glad to have you on board here on the WIAA Network. LaConner has the ball, 4th and 12 at the 46-yard line of Morton-White Pass. They decided not to go for it. They'll punt it away now as Jamal James puts the foot into the ball. It's going to drop into the area around the 20, well, make that the 15-yard line, and going to be downed as well by Hudson Zavala. And that'll be at about the 18, and that's where Morton-White Pass will take over 1st and 10. Still plenty of time for someone to score before this first half is over with. 6:28 to go, and the Timberwolves to begin at their own 18-yard line. They have been stifled in this ball game so far by the Braves defense, as the Braves have come up big so far. LaConner began the playoffs with a 41-20 victory over Waukegan, and then beat Raymond last week 21-7. That at Mount Vernon High School. So they were more or less the home team. First play from scrimmage on this possession is a handoff, and going nowhere is the ball carrier. Looks like Reynolds. Not able to find a hole anywhere, and he gets dropped for a small loss, maybe about a yard. So let's see what the Timberwolves are going to do here on 2nd and 11. They need to start picking up some yardage. They haven't done it in a very big way so far in this game. They did have a 17-yard play on their last possession, but still have not really been able to get any points on the board to this point, and have not really threatened all that much with the exception of their first possession. Here's Cole back to pass, avoids a couple of would-be tacklers, throws downfield, and he's got a man. Making the reception down there is Caleb Dunlap, and he went up in a sea of white jerseys to come down with that ball and pick up the first down. Wow, Dunlap really getting up in the air to make that reception and give a breath of life to this offense. That's something they really needed, is that ball is now at the 41-yard line of the Timberwolves. 1st and 10 as the clock winds down to 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter of play. Kolb with a 3-man backfield behind him. He'll look over the LaConner defense, get under center, turn and hand off. This is Reynolds. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and dropped. He pretty much got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. As the defense of LaConner, led by Will James, came up and put the stop. And now we got a timeout on the field. This one called by Morton-White Pass. We'll keep it right here and kind of get you updated a little bit on the semifinal situation. The semifinals around the state are going on today and tomorrow at all 6 levels. There's 7 games being played here at the Tacoma Dome this weekend. And the first one in the books at the 2A level, Linden defeating Capital 48-21. So the Lions will move on and play the winner of tomorrow's game between Tumwater and Prosser. The winner of this game will play next weekend, and that'll be on Friday the 30th, 1 week from tonight. And the winner of this game will take on the winner of tomorrow's semifinal matchup between Lind Ritzville Sprague and Waitsburg Prescott. Waitsburg Prescott, the defending champion at the 2B level. They defeated Morton-White Pass last year. Talking with Timberwolves head coach Aaron Poquette before the game, he said his team last year played in the Tacoma Dome for the first time ever, semifinal round. It took them a half to get over the fact that they were playing in such a big building. They went on to win the semifinal but lost in the final. hoping to change their fortunes this year as Kolb goes back to pass, looks right, he dumps it off. Reynolds comes up with the ball. He's going to squirt forward for a little bit, picked up maybe 3 yards, and that's about it. Well, that LaConner defense has been swarming to the ball. They've just had a real good feel for where it's going and have really kept LaConner under wraps for the most part. Still a scoreless ball game between a couple of teams that are used to putting up some points. And that kind of is what happens when you get deep into the playoffs. Defenses tend to take over, and they've both taken over this game for sure. 3rd and 8 from the 44. Kolb with 3 men split to the left. They put one in motion now from left to right. Back to pass. Got some blocking now. Going to get flushed out of the pocket. Rolls left. He's going to keep the ball himself. Pushes forward just short of midfield. And he is definitely going to be short of the first down. A very good chance, though, that the Timberwolves will go for it here. This could be their last shot of the first half, as the clock is at 4:07 to go. So Kolb got knocked out of bounds. That will stop the clock. The ball is at the 49-yard line, and the Timberwolves are 2 yards short of a first down. 4th and 2, and they are going to go for it, even though the ball is in their own territory. Let's see what happens here as the LaConner defense gets ready. They really want to stop. They split 1 man far left, 2-man backfield. There's a throw to the man split left, and it's going to be caught on a slant pattern, and that will be enough for the first down. Credit number 13, Kalen Dunlap, who made 1 big catch already on this possession with the reception there to move the sticks. And the first down gamble pays off for Aaron Poquette and the Timberwolves. The ball is just inside the 45-yard line of LaConner. A pickup of 6.5 yards on that last play. Clock running with 3:50 to go, second quarter. Scoreless ball game. 3-man backfield behind Kolb. He'll turn, fake the handoff, keep it himself. Got some blocking in front of him. Gets past the 40 and dropped at the 38-yard line of LaConner. And a lot of blocking in front of him right now and picked up 7 yards on the play. That will keep the clock running, though. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here in the second quarter. So a 2nd and 3 coming up for the Timberwolves. We've gotten a couple of big plays on this drive. One, a big catch on 3rd and 13, and then a 7-yard gain on 4th and 2 to keep the drive alive. Here comes a pass, little bubble screen out to the right side. Making the catch is number 42, Ben Powell, and he'll plow forward and pick up a first down. So the sticks move again for the Timberwolves as they're trying to get on the board before this second quarter runs out. The ball at the 31-yard line of LaConner. The 2B level semifinal game between these 2 powerhouse schools. The Timberwolves coming in undefeated at 11-0, and LaConner with just 1 loss. They are 11-1, so a 22-1 record combined between these 2 teams. Kolb under center sends a man in motion from left to right. He'll go straight back to pass on first down. Rolls to his left, eludes 1 tackler. Now he's got a couple of white jerseys chasing him. He throws deep downfield. He's got a man, and it's caught for a touchdown. Gianni Bertucci got open right at the goal line and hauled in a beautiful pass from Ryan Kolb for the score. The first score of the ball game, and it comes from Morton-White Pass on what was a 31-yard touchdown throw by Ryan Kolb. Wow. Put it right on the money to Gianni Bertucci, and the Timberwolves strike first blood. It took a while, 2:25 to go in the second quarter before anybody could bust through with a score. Now they'll line it up for the extra point as Brian Reynolds gets ready to try to split the uprights and make it a 7-0 game. They send a man in motion. Maybe they'll go for 2. Here comes the snap from center now. There it is. Put down, and the kick is up, and it's going to be blocked. Blocked by LaConner, as the Braves say 6 points is enough. And it will be a 6-0 lead for Morton-White Pass as we go to break. 6-0. The Timberwolves on top of the Braves here on the WIAA network.
The future of our state is very important to Washington dairy farmers.
And it starts with our youth. The dairy farmers of Washington have been partnering with the WIAA for years. Sports are very important in building good work ethic.
They help students by teaching them discipline, teamwork, dedication, and preparing them for the challenges that they're going to have later in life.
The dairy farmers of Washington encourage you to support local youth by attending WIAA championship events.
Well, it took a long time, but we finally got a score in this semifinal matchup between Morton-White Pass and LaConner. It was the Timberwolves of Morton-White Pass coming through with a 31-yard touchdown strike. A pass from Ryland Kolb to Gianni Bertucci. Extra point blocked, so make it 6-0 in favor of the Timberwolves, who will kick off now with 2:25 to go in the ballgame. That's still a lot of time for the Braves to try to put together a late scoring drive. They do have 2 timeouts left and a very potent offense as well. Here comes a kick straight down the field, goes over the head of the deep man, Jimmy Brooks. He gathers it in now, take it up past the 10, 15, and now gets dropped at the 17-yard line. A halfway decent return by Jimmy Brooks after the ball went over his head. Now let's see what the Braves can do with 2:16 to go in the second quarter of play. I'm Mike Brown here on the WIAA Network. Semifinal matchup from the Tacoma Dome, brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires. Sean Hulbert, quarterback, leading the way for the Braves here. He's got time to work with, but a long field in front of him. So they have to start chewing up some yardage to get on the board. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert will take it straight up the middle. He's going to be met head on at the 20-yard line after a pickup of about 3. So the Braves electing to run the ball on the first play, probably figuring the Timberwolves figured they were going to throw it. That'll keep the clock running here. And the Braves really can't waste too much time. They do have 2 timeouts, but not 3. And a long field in front of them. They'll split 3 men out wide left, 1 right, send a man in motion out of the backfield, throw right side. They set up the screen. Ball being taken in by Hudson Zavala, but he's not going to get very far. Maybe picked up a couple, and that's it. So now, with a 3rd and 6 staring him in the face, the Lions are going to have to at least get to the sticks when they throw the ball. Not just to pick up the first down, but just to make sure they keep the drive alive, because they are probably not going to go for it on a 4th down, being as deep as they are in their own territory. They're at their own 21. And time's a wasting right now, not using up a timeout, but using up a lot of clock instead. 2 men wide right, 1 left, 2 other men in the backfield as Hulbert fakes the handoff, now throws right side. This one is almost intercepted. Almost picked off by Gianni Bertucci, who has the touchdown reception, and he had nothing but green in front of him. If he were able to hang on to that ball, it would be a 12-0 ball game right now. So a dangerous pass thrown by Hulbert, and on 4th and 6, they're pretty much going to be forced to punt right here. 51 seconds to go in the second quarter, and it's Morton-White Pass leading it 6-0. I'll set the ball at the near hash mark. And Taylor Swanson, the punter for the Braves, will be on the field. See if Morton-White Pass kind of sends the house here. No, they're not going to, as the kick gets away cleanly. And it's going to be caught just inside the 50-yard line. Returning it right side. That is number 7, Jeff Fenbert, and he picks up some pretty decent yardage all the way to the 38-yard line. And with 37 seconds to go, the Timberwolves have a real legitimate shot of putting some more points on the board. So the Braves, deep in their own territory, got a pretty decent punt from James, but a big return back the other way by Fenbert sets it up at the 37-yard line. So now the Timberwolves, with 37 seconds and 2 timeouts, have a decent shot of scoring right here before the half is over with. They send 3-man left, pitch it to Reynolds, left side, got some blockers in front of him. Now the play's going to be strung out by the Braves, and they knock him out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Got about 5 on the play, but had to run a long way to pick up those 5 yards. Reynolds got knocked out of bounds. That will stop the clock, so the Timberwolves do not have to use a timeout right here. They're at the 31-yard line of the Braves. Second and 4. Looks more like 5 to me. They got 2nd and 4 up on the board. 29 seconds left in the half. Let's see if Kolb takes a shot downfield. He's working out of the shotgun for maybe only the 2nd time in the ball game. Clean snap from center, fakes the throw left, now rolls right. Better look out and get rid of it. He does. It's going to be intercepted. This one picked off by Levi Paul, and he's going to be dropped almost immediately. But most importantly for the Braves is they stop the late threat by the Timberwolves. And with 17 seconds left in the second quarter, the Braves almost certainly will kneel this one out and get out of the first half, trailing 6-0. Just the one score in the ball game to this point. A little bit surprising considering how well these two teams operate on offense. But the defenses have come to play in this game. And it's just 6-0 in favor of Morton-White Pass.
First and 10, LaConner from their own 15.
So LaConner, maybe they'll take a shot downfield, maybe 2. Wouldn't surprise me. Kind of funny that both teams still have 2 timeouts left. And yet they are going to just kneel this one out right here as Hulbert will drop to one knee, flip the ball to the referee. And no, we're going to have, I think, a timeout being called before this thing's going to be over with. I think Morton-White Pass called timeout. Yes, indeed, they did. So let's see. Hulbert and the offense are going to have to come back out here and run 1, maybe 2 more plays. They could do the same thing, have the Timberwolves call another timeout, stop the clock with about, let's say, 8 or 9 seconds to go, and then have to run a 3rd down play to get the clock down to all zeros. So Aaron Poquette of the Timberwolves, the head coach, saying, we're not going to just let you get out of this thing that easy. We're going to make it a little bit harder for you. So here come the Braves again. A bunched in formation. Again, Hulbert will take a knee, and let's see if the Timberwolves use their final timeout. Yep, they sure will. So the 3rd and final timeout being called by Morton-White Pass, and that will force the Braves to run 1 more play. 8 seconds to go before the half. Timberwolves leading it 6-0 over LaConner. Semifinal round of the state playoffs at the 2B level. Morton-White Pass hoping to go all the way after losing in the championship game last year. LaConner not expected to get this far, but they have with some impressive victories in both the 1st and 2nd round. Got to play at Mount Vernon High School both times. Now they'll kneel it out, and the clock will get down to all zeros, and we have come to the end of the first half of play. So the two teams will head to the locker room at the break with Morton-White Pass leading it over LaConner by the score of 6-0. I'm Mike Brown here on the WIAA Network, brought to you by Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires. I'll be back with the second half. When it's ready to go, I'll have the play-by-play, and we'll see who's going to be moving on to the final round next weekend when we come back here on the WIAA Network.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
The future of our state is very important to Washington dairy farmers.
And it starts with our youth. The dairy farmers of Washington have been partnering with the WIAA for years. Sports are very important in building good work ethic.
They help students by teaching them discipline, teamwork, dedication, and preparing them for the challenges that they're going to have later in life.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington encourage you to support local youth by attending WIAA championship events.
kind of wait.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Getting ready for second half action here at the Tacoma Dome, this semifinal matchup between two B schools, the LaConner Braves and the Morton-White Pass Timberwolves. Welcome back to Tacoma fans. This is Mike Brown. We're getting ready for the second half, and it will be LaConner kicking the ball off, as they did receive the opening kickoff to begin the ball game, but they did muff it. Morton-White Pass came up with the ball, but not able to score. But they did score later on in the second half, and just the one score in the ball game as the Timberwolves lead it over the Braves by the score of 6-0. That only touchdown was a 37-yard TD pass from Rylan Kolb to Gianni Bertucci. Extra kick was blocked, and that's where we're at, 6-0 as we get ready to start the second half of play. So the Braves ready to kick it off. Taylor Swanson will do the honors. Back deep for the Timberwolves are Jeff Fenbert and Gianni Bertucci, who has the only score of the ball game. Both teams have moved the ball rather well. It's just that they have not been able to complete potential scoring drives. One of those in particular was by LaConner, started at their own 15-yard line, drove all the way just inside the 20 of the Timberwolves before a penalty set them back a ways, and they were not able to finish it off. And that's kind of been the story here as the two teams' defenses have come to play. And as good as Morton-White Pass's offense can be, their defense has really carried them this season and continues to do so as they've pitched the shutout through 2 quarters so far. So here we go, ready to get things going as Taylor Swanson will line it up for the Braves as we get ready to kick it off from the 40-yard line here to begin the third quarter of play. 6-0 in favor of the Timberwolves, and we are ready to go. So Swanson puts his foot into the ball, kind of a short kick, going to come down to about the 15-yard line. Bertucci will take it. Check that, Fenbert. He'll bring it up past the 30-yard line and gets dropped at the 32. And that's where the Timberwolves will have it, 1st and 10 to begin the second half of play. Glad you could join us here on the WIAA Network, presented by the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires. This the second of 3 semifinal games being played here at the Tacoma Dome today. Coming up next, one of the most dangerous teams in the nation, Bellevue. The Wolverines taking on Mount Si, second matchup of the year for those two teams. Right now it's Ryland Kolb under center, sends a man in motion, and we got a flag before the snap. Probably going to have a motion penalty against the Timberwolves, and indeed they are backing up, which indicates that they're going to be hit with about a 5-yard penalty. So before the first play even gets underway, it's going to be the Timberwolves getting backed up 5 yards. So they'll place the ball at the 28. They'll still be, they'll make that, it'll be 1st and 15. They have 2nd and 15 up on the board. 3-man backfield behind Kolb. He'll turn and hand off to the deep man. He's not going to go anywhere. That's Bertucci. He gets dropped in the backfield. So it's been backwards 5 yards on the penalty and a couple more on the tackle for loss by LaConner. And the Timberwolves off to a pretty shaky start here to begin the third quarter of play. So make it 2nd and 16 as Bertucci officially lost 1 yard on the play. Opening minute of the third quarter. Timberwolves leading it by the score of 6-0 over LaConner. Trying to get things going offensively is Ryan Kolb, the quarterback, who's under center with 3 men behind him. Drops back to pass straight back. Looks left, now right. Now he's going to run with it, and he's going to get dropped in the backfield. Some great defense by LaConner as Kolb gets sacked on the second down play. And that's one of those coverage sacks right there, as the defensive secondary for the Braves came up big. That includes Taylor Swanson, Trey Johnson, and Hudson Zavala with the outstanding coverage in the backfield. So 3rd and 18 as Kolb was dropped for a 2-yard loss. So the Timberwolves apparently not able to make the right adjustments, or at least the defense of LaConner certainly did at halftime. So on the 3rd and 18 play from the 25, Kolb back to pass, steps up in the pocket, looks downfield. He's got a man, but just overthrows the intended receiver, Brian Reynolds. And the Timberwolves are going to have to give it up on, as they are going to have to punt it away here with staring at a 4th and 18. Reynolds got behind the defensive secondary, but the ball was just a little overthrown by Kolb. Otherwise, they would have been not only in LaConner territory, but would be set up in great field position after picking up a big first down. So instead, it'll be Reynolds back to punt. Gets away a wobbly kick that's going to take a friendly bounce, but then gathered in by LaConner on a fair catch. No, it's not a fair catch. He's going to have to run with it, and that's Jimmy Brooks, who takes off to the right side and gets dropped at about the 38-yard line. Everybody kind of paused there as he called a fair catch, but the ball had hit the ground already. So he either has to catch the ball and go to the ground or try to return it. A little discussion on the field after that one there. We're standing right by the coaching section for the assistants for Morton-White Pass, and they're not too happy with the way that hole went. They're saying they should throw a flag on LaConner because the deep man called for a fair catch and then returned the ball. At this point, the ball's not being moved either way, but now let's see what exactly they're going to do right here. And I think they are going to call a penalty against LaConner. There is the flag being dropped right there after the officials talked it over. So instead of being at the 37-yard line, their own 37, LaConner's going to get backed up at least 5. The officials still talking it over to make sure they get the call right. Taking their time right here. This is not the type of penalty you see called very often. So a fair catch on a punt. The ball hit the ground first before the deep man gathered it in. And then he took off and tried to return the kick. Got 10:02 to go here in the third quarter of play. A 6-0 lead for Morton-White Pass, who were slapped with a 3-and-out by LaConner on the opening possession of the third quarter. Now before LaConner can run a play, they're going to get backed up. And let's see how many yards. It's going to be 5 yards. So that'll take, actually that's going to be a 10-yard penalty, as the ball is going to be placed at the 27. The ball was returned by Brooks to the 37. And the officials, looks like they're going to set the ball down at the 27. They're going to get the chain gang in place first. So kind of a pause in the action. This game has had a pretty good rhythm to it, especially in the first half. But so far in the second half, not too much. A penalty before the first play from scrimmage, and a couple of tackles for loss. An incomplete pass forced Morton-White Pass to punt the ball, and now this confusing penalty on the punt return. And the officials just having a tough time making sure they get it right. But they want to get it right, and that's why they're taking their time to this point. Still talking it over on the far sideline in front of the Braves bench. Three officials still talking things over with head coach John Lee, now in his third season as the head coach of the Braves. Lee played his college football right here in Tacoma. He played for Frosty Westering over at PLU for a year. Now we're finally ready to get going. The Braves will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line, trailing 6-0 with 10:02 to go in the third quarter. Still a long way to go in this semifinal matchup. Out of the shotgun with a back to either side is Hulbert. He'll hand it off. No, he's going to keep it himself, run it left side, jukes and jives, and picks up a couple of yards before he's stopped. Hulbert has run the ball a number of times in the ball game so far. Not picking up a whole lot on that first down play right there. Maybe a yard is all they're going to give Hulbert. So call it 2nd and 9 from the 28. Again, Hulbert out of the shotgun. 2 men left, and he sends a man in motion. Fakes the handoff. No, he's going to give it to him right here. That's Jamal James. He tries to get around the edge, can't do it. He's going to be dropped, maybe for a loss of a yard. Right near the far sideline, a lot of green jerseys blocking my view. Let's see where they set the ball. It looks like it's going to be at the 28-yard line. So he got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 9 now for the Braves, who are also struggling here on offense to begin the third quarter. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert back to pass, fakes a run, now throws deep down the field. This one's going to be picked off. Coming up with the ball is Tyler Barnett. He's going to cut to the right side and get tackled at the 31-yard line. That was a terrible pass by Sean Hulbert right there as he threw it right to Barnett. Barnett able to return the ball a little bit and set up the offense in great field position at the 33-yard line of LaConner. So the Timberwolves now have a chance to put some distance between themselves and the Braves, leading at just 6-0. They're going to start at the 32 officially of LaConner. 1st and 10. Kolb under center. I formation behind him, turns, hands to the second man through. That's Reynolds. He'll find a little running room on the left side. He'll get dropped after a short gain. So the defense is really rising to the occasion here, particularly in the third quarter of this game. They're going to give him a gain of 2. The ball placed right at the 30-yard line. 2nd and 8 for the Timberwolves. Again, leading it 6-0 here in the third quarter. Timberwolves trying to get back to the final for the second year in a row. They lost last year They got some unfinished business. Single man in the backfield. Here comes the pitch to him. That's Bertucci. He'll jig and jag and work to the right side. Check that at Tyler Barnett. And he's going to get dropped after a gain of maybe a yard. So neither team finding it at all easy to move the football in this third quarter. The Timberwolves started with 3 and out on their first possession. Then LaConner was hit with a 3 and out. And the Timberwolves now with their second possession also could be stopped 3 and out. They're looking at a 3rd and 7, although if they don't convert here on 3rd down, there's a good chance they'll go for it on 4th. But first things first, one man split wide to either side for the Timberwolves. I formation behind Kolb. He'll turn, fake the handoff, now rolls to his right, got pressure, throws, and he's got a man. At about the 21-yard line, he connects with Ben Powell. It may not be enough for a first down. Yes, it will. They're going to say move the chains as Powell got just past the stick for the first down. Ball's going to be at the 21-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Timberwolves. That's the first down by either team here in the third quarter. And the clock winding down to 7 minutes to go in period number 3. Now they'll split 2 men wide left in an I formation, 2 to the right in the same way. Throw to the right side. They set up the bubble screen. Ball going to be caught again by Ben Powell. He's going to break a tackle and go into the end zone for the touchdown. Powell makes it a 12-0 ball game as he sheds a couple of white jerseyed tacklers and goes into the end zone standing up for the score. That one a 21-yard pass from Ryan Kolb to Ben Powell to make it a 12-0 ball game in favor of Morton-White Pass. So they take advantage of the interception, the 3rd turnover of the ball game by the Braves, and turn it into 6 points. Now let's see if they go for 2 here to try to make it a 14-0 game. They will indeed. Got a man wide to either side. Split backs in the backfield. Kolb sends a man in motion from right to left. That's Barnett. He'll hand it off to him. Bertucci, rather, he'll take the handoff, and he's going to get cut down just before the goal line, but we do have a flag on the play. It'll certainly be declined if it's against Morton-White Pass, and I think it is, as both teams appear headed to the sidelines. Let's see. Yep, it will indeed be against Morton-White Pass. It's a holding call, but they will take the 6 points and make it a 2-score game. Morton-White Pass leading by the score of 12-0 with 6:44 to go in the third quarter of play. And we'll take a break here with the score, Morton-White Pass 12, LaConner nothing. Back with more after this on the WIAA Network.
The future of our state is very important to Washington dairy farmers.
And it starts with our youth. The dairy farmers of Washington have been partnering with the WIAA for years. Sports are very important in building good work ethic.
They help students by teaching them discipline, teamwork, dedication, and preparing them for the challenges that they're going to have later in life.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington encourage you to support local youth by attending WIAA championship events.
We are back at the Tacoma Dome, a 12-0 lead for Morton-White Pass, taking advantage of their 3rd turnover by the defense, and connecting is Rylan Kolb on a 21-yard pass to Ben Powell to make it 12-0. 2-point conversion attempt was denied, and as a result, no additional points for the Timberwolves after the touchdown. So they'll settle for the 12-0 lead. It is a 2-score ball game, and the way the Morton-White Pass defense has been playing, they got to be feeling pretty good about their chances, but there is a lot of time left. 6:44 to go in the third quarter, and the ensuing kickoff by Brian Reynolds is going to be a return on this one by the Braves as they get it up to about the 30-yard line. That is Hudson Savala with the return. And that's pretty decent field position for the Braves. They'll be starting at their 31-yard line here with 6:34 to go in the third quarter. The Braves have been stifled so far in the second half. They've only had the ball one time, and it was a 3-and-out. So their offense anxious to start doing some damage here as they begin their second possession. Trips to the right side, single man wide left. One man in the backfield. Hulbert going to fake the throw, now take off. Gets around the edge on the left side, past the 40, 45, spins and is dropped at a 47. And a good gain on first down right there for the LaConner Braves. He picks up 16 yards on the carry. And the ball to be placed at the 47-yard line. LaConner in a hurry-up offense, no huddle. They send two men out wide right, one left. Backs to either side of Hulbert out of the shotgun, hands off to the man to his left. That is Jimmy Brooks, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So the Braves kind of picking up the pace a little bit here on offense. They need points, even though there's a lot of time left. Checking over the wristbands to make sure they got the right play called. They load things up on the right side. Two men in the slot out of the shotgun. Hulbert takes it. He's going to run right side. Got a blocker in front of him. Gets around the edge, past midfield to the 45 and kicked out of bounds. Right where the sticks are. It's going to be interesting where the spot of the ball will be. He may have gotten the first down. Oh, no, he's going to be short by about 3 yards. Well, that was interesting right there. He must have gone out of bounds and then kept going upfield. It looked like he wasn't quite out of bounds yet. But the ball's at the 46. Brings up a 3rd and 3. Hulbert out of the shotgun. Looks like they drew a man off sides right there as the flags come flying. And that could be an easy first down right there. Morton-White Pass backing up saying, yep, we knew we goofed up right there. They'll mark off 5 yards, and that'll bring up an automatic first down for the Braves. The ball will be placed at the 41-yard line of Morton-White Pass. And the Braves now taking yardage any way they can get it. They'll set things up now. In the spread offense, two men split left, one right. Got a couple in the backfield now. And a timeout being called by the Braves. They want to get things reset as they take their first timeout of the second half of play. So we'll take timeout as well. With the score, Morton-White Pass 12, LaConner nothing. Back with more third quarter action after this timeout on the WIAA network.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Got to be 1st and 10 for LaConner. They are in Timberwolf territory. The 41-yard line of Morton-White Pass. A 1st and 10 for the Braves. On the move here on their second possession of the third quarter. Two men split wide left, one right. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert going to run it again. I don't know if he's going to get around the edge this time. He jukes one man, but then gets dropped and pushed out of bounds right near the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play as well, as things did not develop well at all for the Braves on offense on that play. Good pursuit by the defense of the Timberwolves. But let's see who the flag's against. And it looks like a holding call against LaConner. So that's going to back the Braves up and give a little breath of fresh air to the Timberwolves defense, as they've been pushed around on this possession by the Braves. It'll still be first down, but 1st and 20 as the ball will be just barely pushed back into Braves territory on the hold. So the officials marking it off with 5:26 to go here in the third quarter. A 12-0 lead in favor of Morton-White Pass. Scored one of their touchdowns in the second quarter, the other here in the third. Extra point failed on the first touchdown, and then a 2-point conversion failed after the second touchdown. So 12-0 Timberwolves. Actually going to be 2nd and 18 as the spot foul on the hold came 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. So they back it up 2nd and 18. Hulbert again going to run the ball, and he is cut down on a great tackle by defensive lineman Ethan Kalista. Boy, he got in there and just tripped up Hulbert, got him between the ankle and the knee, and dropped him for the loss. Actually, a 1-yard loss after the great defensive play there. The ball right at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 19. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert runs right. Now he's got to throw left. He's got a man open. Has to go up a little bit high to get the ball, but he gathers it in for the catch. And coming up with the ball was Hudson Zavala. Got dropped by Ryland Kolb, who also doubles as the quarterback for the Timberwolves. Picked up 8 yards on the play. Still a long way to go for a first down for LaConner. Depending on what happens here on third, if they don't convert, it'd be an interesting call for head coach John Leah as to whether or not to go for it on fourth. But first things first. Here comes Hulbert after taking the snap, throws downfield down the hash mark, and the ball broken up, incomplete. And it's getting a hand in there on the play. Let's see if we can pick up the number there. That was Ryland Kolb. Also Jeff Fenbert in on the play to bring up a 4th and 12. Now, if you're head coach John Lee of the LaConner Braves down by 2 scores, do you go for it here even the ball is somewhat close to midfield? It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do despite the fact that it's 4th and 12. At the 43 of the Timberwolves, Hulbert out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff, rolls left, throws down to the left hash mark, and the ball is going to be broken up by Fenbert. He was trying to connect with number 21 Cameron Hansen, or Jamal James rather, and couldn't do it, and the ball will go over on downs to the Timberwolves. So LaConner's best shot on offense goes awry here in the third quarter after they move the ball a good 50 yards. But Morton-White Pass does hold thanks in big part to the holding penalty against LaConner. So now the Timberwolves to take over 1st and 10 at their own 43. Full house backfield behind Ryland Kolb under center, fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself, tries to get around the left side. He's going to be swarmed under. Boy, there's a whole host of white jerseys there that dropped him for a loss, led by Dalton Zavala. And the Braves seem to know that one was coming right there. 3:40 clock running here in the third quarter. A 12-0 lead for Morton-White Pass, trying to advance to the championship game next Friday night right here at the Tacoma Dome. But the Braves defense has other ideas. They're trying to slap a 3 and out here on the Timberwolves and get the ball back into the hands of their offense. 2 men in the backfield, 1 man split wide to either side as Kolb goes straight back to pass, dumps it out to Reynolds. He turns, makes 1 man miss, now a second, and now he's going to be gang tackled and dropped probably right at the line of scrimmage. So Reynolds took a pretty good beating right there just to get back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 11. Under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Morton-White Pass with a 12-0 lead. The winner of this game plays in the championship game a week from tonight. And that will be against either Waitsburg Prescott or Lind Richville Sprague. Those 2 teams will play each other tomorrow over in Eastern Washington. Out of the shotgun now, Kolb with 1 man in the backfield, 2 men wide to either side, back to pass. Good protection, throws left side. He's got a man, but he's going to be a little bit short of the first down. He connected with Ben Powell for a gain of about 10 yards, but he's still going to be a yard or 2 short of the first down. The ball is in LaConner territory, and it's a good chance that Aaron Poquette will send his Timberwolves and go for it here on 4th and 2. Yes, indeed they will. Kolb stays in the game, talks things over with his backfield teammates. They need 2 yards to keep this drive alive. 2 men wide to either side out of the shotgun. Kolb will take the pass, going to run it straight up the middle, but a flag and whistles, and the play is ruled dead. Let's see who the call is going to go against. It's possible we had some movement up front by the Timberwolves, and they appear to be backing up. It looks like it's going to go against them. So 5 yards will back up the Timberwolves, and they may still go for it here on 4th and 7. Maybe not. Reynolds is back in punt formation, so it looks like the Timberwolves are just going to kick it away. Clock running with 1:35 to go in the third quarter. Back deep for the Braves is Jimmy Brooks, and he may get a shot at a return right here. No, he's going to call for a fair catch at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Braves will get started on their next possession, 1st and 10. 2 touchdown passes in the game for Timberwolves quarterback Rylan Kolb. The first one a 37-yarder to Gianni Bertucci in the second quarter. Extra point was blocked, so the Timberwolves went into halftime with the score 6-0 in their favor. They added on 6 more when Kolb connected with Ben Powell here in the third. To make it a 12-0 ball game, they went for 2 but didn't make it, and have to settle for the 12-0 lead with 1:24 to go here in the third quarter. Now Hobart ready to lead the Braves on offense. From the 25, fakes the handoff, now sends the second man through the middle of the pile. He's going to pick up a couple of yards, and that's about it. It was a gain of 2 by Dalton Zavala. So the clock winding down to 1 minute to go now in the third quarter. A 2nd and 8 as Hobart will hand it off again. This time to Powell. Eludes one tackler, gets around the right side, and then gets dropped for a short gain of 2, maybe 3. So LaConner content with running the ball here with the clock winding down on the third quarter of play. There is a lot of time left in the game, but it is a 2-score lead for Morton. Here's Hobart back to pass on third down, throws right side, no interference on what looked like could have been a call over there as he was trying to connect with Jamal James. Not able to do it on third down, so that'll bring up 4th and 6. And it looks like the Braves are going to have to kick it away here with 30 seconds to go and pretty well deep into their own territory at their own 30. That's not necessarily deep in your own territory, but it's pretty deep when you're looking at a 4th and 6 and down by 2 scores. So they're going to have to kick it away. Here's Jamal James now with a rather short kick that's going to bounce near the near sideline and go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Jeff Fenberg back on it, but didn't want to go near that bouncing ball the way it was kind of hopping crazily on that near sideline. So with 22 seconds to go in the third quarter, the Timberwolves will get started in decent field position at their own 30, 1st and 10. So defenses come into play in this game, particularly the defense of the Timberwolves. They get the ball back into the hands of their offense, hoping to put another score up on the board. 1st and 10, back to pass. Kolb this time. Now he steps up in the pocket. He's going to have to run as the coverage has been just a little bit too good downfield by the Braves defense most of this game. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe pick up 1. Dalton Zamala on the tackle there, as the Braves defense has done a pretty good job in this game. And that is going to end things for the third quarter of play here at the Tacoma Dome. We'll go to the fourth quarter with the score. Morton-White Pass 12, LaConner nothing. Back with more after this on the WIAA Network.
The future of our state is very important to Washington dairy farmers.
And it starts with our youth. The dairy farmers of Washington have been partnering with the WIAA for years. Sports are very important in building good work ethic.
They help students by teaching them discipline, teamwork, dedication, and preparing them for the challenges that they're going to have later in life.
The dairy farmers of Washington encourage you to support local youth by attending WIAA championship events.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
We are ready for fourth quarter action here at the Tacoma Dome. Semifinal matchup at the 2B level between the LaConner Braves and the Timberwolves of Morton-White Pass. Welcome back to the WIAA Network, fans. This is Mike Brown bringing you the play-by-play action here on the WIAA Network. Morton-White Pass has the ball at their own 32-yard line. 2nd and 8, back to pass Kolb for the second straight time. Fakes the run, now fakes a pass. Now he takes off left side. He's going to elude one tackler. Now gets dropped at the 41-yard line after a big block from teammate Gianni Bertucci. The ball is going to be spotted on about the 38, checked at the 42-yard line, and an injury now on the field after that big hit. And Bertucci just laid out a Braves player. I'm trying to get a number on the uniform here as the injured player is laying on the near sideline right in front of the Timberwolves bench. He's being attended to by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people. Lying flat on his back with his knees elevated. Trying to release some pressure by pulling his uniform pants out a little bit. Things have got awful quiet here all of a sudden at the Tacoma Dome. Still trying to figure out who the injured player is for the Braves. And it looks like he's going to be getting up now, and that is Alan John, the injured player. John, a linebacker for the Braves, is going to be helped to his feet and gets a nice round of applause by fans on both sides. And now he also gets a slap on the back from the man that laid him out there, Gianni Bertucci. So Alan John now being helped off by a couple of trainers. I think he got the wind knocked out of him. Maybe he's seeing stars at the same time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up back in the game. We'll just have to wait and see. That was the first play of the fourth quarter. They picked up a first down for Morton-White Pass, and they'll have a fresh set of downs at their own 42-yard line. The Timberwolves lead it over LaConner 12-0. The winner of this game will play 1 week from tonight right here at the Tacoma Dome in the championship game for the 2B title. Full house backfield behind quarterback Rylan Kolb. He'll take the snap from center, hand off to the deep man, that's Bertucci. He'll pick up a couple of yards, and we have a flag on the play. Now we have a second flag as well. Now a third flag, and I think they're all going to be different penalties. Probably going to offset one another as things are getting a little chippy out on the field. I think LaConner getting a little frustrated, not being able to score in this game. Then after having one of their teammates get helped off the field on a big hit, maybe they're looking to return the favor a little bit. So the officials got a lot to talk over here as there are 3 different yellow flags down on the field. There's a good chance they'll offset one another, and we'll do it all over after a gain of maybe 1 yard. We had one flag in the backfield of the Timberwolves, another one in the defensive backfield of LaConner, and then one near the line of scrimmage. We got a face mask called against Morton-White Pass. That's the first one. Unsportsmanlike conduct being called. They're not saying who it's on, though. That's against Morton-White Pass. And now we also have a third penalty against Morton-White Pass. So all 3 penalties are against the Timberwolves. Oh, now we do have one against LaConner. Okay. So apparently there were 4 penalties, or the official missignaled one of the 2 on the Timberwolves. So now we got that straightened out. Now they got to figure out what to do with the ball. And we have all 5 officials talking it over right now as to where the ball is going to have to go. Turnovers have been a big part of this game. LaConner has turned it over 3 times, 2 interceptions. They also muffed the opening kickoff, and the opponent, the Timberwolves, recovered it. Meanwhile, Morton-White Pass has thrown a couple of interceptions as well. Both touchdowns scored by the Timberwolves came after interceptions by the Braves. So they have been able to take advantage of a couple of those turnovers. The officials still talking things over. We had a pretty long discussion after an interesting penalty earlier in this quarter, or in the third quarter. A LaConner player called for a fair catch on a punt after the ball bounced. He tried to return the punt, gained about 7-8 yards, and then a penalty flag was thrown, and the Braves ended up being penalized 10 yards. So let's see what they're going to do with the ball now. They're going to mark yardage off against the Timberwolves. Starting at the 41, they're going to back them up 15.
15-yard personal foul face mask penalty will be.
So I guess 2 of the penalties offset each other, and then the third penalty, which was the second one against the Timberwolves, is going to back them up 15 yards. So they're going to say it's the face mask call against Morton-White Pass. That's going to be marked off. That's 15 yards. So the personal foul is going to cost Morton-White Pass 15 yards, but let's see if it's still going to be 1st and 10. I think it will. I don't think it's going to be 1st and 25. They did advance the ball to the 42, their own 42. But then they're going to mark it off from the original line of scrimmage and take it inside the 15-yard line now. So that's 2 chunks of yardage being marked off against the Timberwolves. Now they're marking off even more. They're all the way down to the 6-yard line. So they marked off, it looks like they marked off 3 penalties against the Timberwolves. And I think they have to get to the 48-yard line of LaConner to get a first down. They start the clock up now. It's first down, 46 yards to go. So here we go. Kolb under center. Back to pass. He's in his end zone. Throws right side. He's got a man over there. He connects with Jeff Fenberg. He gets away from the initial tackler. Moves upfield past the 25 and dropped at the 27-yard line. So they pick up 21 yards on that first down play. That leaves just 25 yards to go now for a first down. And the numbers getting a little askew here early in the fourth quarter of play. Coming down to 11 minutes to go in the ball game. Morton-White Pass leads it 12-0. They do have the ball. Second down and 26 yards to go at their own 26-yard line. They got a big chunk of real estate on first down. Let's see what happens here on second. Split backs in the backfield, 1 man wide to either side. Kolb under center, drops straight back to pass, throws right side and overthrows a man who actually slipped and fell. That was Gianni Bertucci. Looks like the ball was pretty much on the money, but he fell to the ground just as it got to him and not able to make the reception. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 26 for the Timberwolves. So a long way to go for them. Oh, it looks like one of the penalties that was marked off on that big chunk of yardage when they backed him up was a 15-yard penalty against head coach Aaron Poquette of the Timberwolves. Back to pass Kolb. Here comes the pressure. He turns and gets out of trouble. Now dumps it off left side. It's going to be gathered in by number 82. That is Spencer Seymour, and he gets knocked out of bounds at the 41. So Kolb able to make some lemonade out of lemons right there as he spun out of trouble and completed a pass that picks up around 11 yards. Actually picked up 15 on the play to bring up 4th and 11. And in their own territory, let's see if the Timberwolves will punt it away. Yes, it looks like they will as they drop Brian Reynolds back deep to punt. Now a timeout being called by the Timberwolves. That's their first of the second half. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining in the ball game. So the first half clicked right along. It was done in under an hour as both teams struggled to find any way of scoring points. Morton-White Pass, the only team able to do it, on a 37-yard touchdown pass from Ryland Kolb to Gianni Bertucci. Otherwise, the first half was played between the 15-yard lines for the most part. Here in the second half, things quite a bit different. Some unusual penalties, 3 marked off at one time against the Timberwolves. They're about to end the possession on which that happened right here. Also had a weird one called against LaConner. And just the one score also by the Timberwolves on a 21-yard touchdown pass from Ryland Kolb to Ben Powell.
Number 33, Brian Reynolds in punt formation for the Timberwolves.
So the Timberwolves now ready to kick it away. Back deep for the Braves is Jimmy Brooks. As Brian Reynolds will put his foot into the ball here momentarily. Takes a low snap, but gets it away just barely. It was almost blocked. A high wobbly punt that's going to take a friendly bounce for the Timberwolves inside the 30-yard line of LaConner and finally down at the 28 of the Braves. And we do have a penalty on the play. Roughing the kicker, running into the kicker is what it's going to be. That'll tack on some extra yardage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for a first down. But it may get it close enough to where the Timberwolves might go for it. Let's see. That kick just barely got away. And after Reynolds booted it, he was run into by a special teams player of the Braves. So now the officials have to sort out where to put the ball. The line of scrimmage was the 41. They needed 11 yards to get a first down. If they mark off the penalty yardage, it probably will not get them enough for the first down. So the officials ready to mark it off now. If it's 10 yards, I would have to bet that the Timberwolves will go for it. But they're going to mark off 5 yards here. That'll bring up a 4th and 6. Let's see if the Timberwolves change their mind and maybe go for it. Now it looks like they're going to keep Reynolds back in punt formation. So we'll do it again with the ball being snapped from the 46 of Morton-White Pass. Again, Reynolds puts his foot into the ball, gets it away clean. This one another wobbly kick right side, takes another friendly bounce though inside the 30. Now inside the 25 and all the way down to the 22.5-yard line of LaConner. So we finally got that special teams situation taken care of. And with 9:57 to go in the fourth quarter, LaConner will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22. Morton leading it 12-0. Their defense has been outstanding, forcing 2 turnovers, both interceptions, and then they also got the turnover on special teams. Both of those interceptions by the defense were turned into touchdowns by their offensive teammates. Here's Hulbert now out of the shotgun, handing off. Powell, he's going to be chased in the backfield and slung to the ground on a tackle for a loss by Bertucci. And check that was Ben Powell in on the play as well. And I'll tell you what, the Timberwolves defense continues to assert themselves here, particularly in the second half of play. Wow. They just broke through the protection and dropped the ball carrier for a loss, and we have another timeout on the field. 9:30 to go, and I don't see an indication as to which team called it. Now they're going to start the clock up again. That was an official's stoppage of play. So the clock running with 9:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Hulbert out of the shotgun with a 2nd and 15, and now the clock stops again. And now it looks like we have a timeout being called by LaConner. So we'll take a timeout as well with the score. Morton-White Pass 12, the Braves nothing. Back with more after this on the WIAA network.
The future of our state is very important to Washington dairy farmers.
And it starts with our youth. The dairy farmers of Washington have been partnering with the WIAA for years. Sports are very important in building good work ethic.
They help students by teaching them discipline, teamwork, dedication, and preparing them for the challenges that they're going to have later in life.
The dairy farmers of Washington encourage you to support local youth by attending WIAA championship events.
We're back at the Tacoma Dome. 9:20 to go in the ball game. 12-0 lead for Morton-White Pass. Leading LaConner, who has the ball at their own 18-yard line. Looking at a 2nd and 15 after that first down play was a 5-yard loss. Hulbert back to pass over the middle. He's got a man open, and making the reception is Jamal James. Picks up a couple yards after the catch, and he's going to be tackled at the 32-yard line. A gain of 20 yards, and a big one for LaConner. That's the kind of stuff they need right now, and pretty much the rest of the game. Not necessarily 20 yards on every play, but they have got to start picking up positive yardage on a consistent basis.
Third down. A yard to go.
Actually, that was a gain of 14 yards because they're just a little bit short of the first down. So from the 31, needing 1 yard here, Hulbert out of the shotgun. He'll fake the pass, take it straight up the middle, and easily pick up the first down as he gains 7 yards, make that 8 yards on the play. That'll move the sticks for the Braves. They're anxious to get back to work on offense, working in the hurry-up offense. No huddle. 2 men split far right, 1 left. Backs to either side of Hulbert out of the shotgun. Barking out signals. Now might be changing the play here on the audible. They'll take the snap from center, handoff up the middle. They saw a little bit of a hole there as they hand the ball off to Dalton Zavala. He'll pick up some decent yardage, about 4 yards on the game. Keeps the ball moving in the right direction for the Braves, who desperately need points. Down by 2 scores, 12-0. They must score 2 touchdowns to win this game. Snap from center to Hulbert, now working out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Paulo, keeping himself left side. Gets around the edge, picks up a few yards, and gets dropped. On some good comeback coverage there by number 33, Brian Reynolds. Got to the ball carrier there. Keeps him somewhat well short of the first down marker. 3rd down and 3 now for Sean Hulbert and the Braves. Needing to pick up the first down and keep the sticks going, but some movement on the line, and they're going to get flagged right here. That'll back them up 5 yards, and that's not what they need at this point of the ball game. Even if they didn't convert on 3rd and 3, you know they would go for it on 4th down, but now the job gets a lot harder by being backed up the 5 yards. So they'll be at the 39, check that, the 41, their own 41, with 7:28 to go in the game. They'll fire the clock back up again. So LaConner's got to get on the move here to get back in this ball game. And now look like movement again by the running back, but no flag being called. They split 3 men wide right, 2 in the slot. 1 man left. Hulbert back to pass, throws right side. Got a man open. It's going to be caught. That one by number 31, Jamal James, and he's going to take it up to the 35-yard line of Morton-White Pass. Another big connection between Hulbert and James. puts the ball well into Timberwolf territory at the 35. Fresh set of downs for the Braves now, working that no-huddle offense. Hulbert playing traffic cop, getting his offense set up. He's got a back to either side, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, tries to work his way up the middle, has his helmet knocked off as he falls forward for a gain of about 3 yards. Clock continues to run. We're down to 6.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Again, Morton-White Pass with a 12-0 lead. Scored 1 touchdown in the second, another in the third. And their defense has kept the Braves off the scoreboard to this point. But the Braves threatening right here. 2nd and 8 from the 34-yard line of the Timberwolves. Here's a snap from center. Handoff comes up the middle. That's Powell. He's going to pick up some decent yardage. As the quarterback in there was Trey Johnson, taking over for Hulbert, who's over on the sideline, talking with his head coach, John Lee. And now Hulbert coming back into the ball game after that last play run effectively by Trey Johnson, the backup quarterback. Picked up 5 on the play, so it brings up a 3rd and 3 from the 28-yard line of the Timberwolves. Trips right, one man split far left, and now Hulbert will take the ball. He'll keep it himself, trying to get the first down by running it just off left tackle. He's going to come up a little bit short. He's near the 25, probably more like the 26. He's going to need about a yard here, and it's going to bring up 4th and 1, and no doubt the Braves are going to go for it right here. Braves got to do some clock management. They have used 2 timeouts in this second half. So they can't be wasting that final timeout. They might need it on their possession after this, should they score here. And now it looks like a little confusion as they try to get set for this 4th down play. Play clock down to 1. Now they call timeout just before it runs out. And some bad clock management right there by LaConner as they have to use up their 3rd and final timeout. With 4:51 to go in the ball game, they're down 12-0. And we're looking at a 4th and short, 4th and 1 maybe. And they have to convert right here. If they do not convert right here on 4th down, it is going to be extremely hard for the Braves to win this game. Because with no timeouts left, Morton can just run off a bunch of time. Even if they go 3 and out, they can just run it up the middle 3 times and burn off a couple of minutes easily and still have a 2-score lead over LaConner, who has no timeouts remaining. So the Braves have to convert right here. They are at the 26-yard line of the Timberwolves. LaConner with a 4th and 1, maybe a little bit less than 1. One way or the other, it's short. But needing to convert, or else they'll give the ball up on downs. 2 men split, wide left, 1 wide right. 2 men in the backfield. Hulbert will hand it off. 2nd man through, and that is Dalton Zavala, who will easily pick up the 1st down. Had a pretty big hole on the left side, and he'll take it down to the 20-yard line. So that'll give a fresh set of downs to LaConner, who might start thinking about taking a shot into the end zone. I'll start the clock back up. 4:40 to go in the ball game. 2 men far right for the Braves, 1 left. 2 men in the backfield. Hulbert out of the shotgun. He'll hand it straight up the middle. Dalton Zavala again, not getting too much on this 1st down play. The clock becoming an enemy now of the Braves. 4:20 to go. Down 12-0. Their best scoring opportunity of the second half, without question. And they must convert and score a touchdown. A field goal will do them no good. Again out of the shotgun, Hulbert throws left, sideline pattern, and this one's going to come up a little bit short. No flag on the play as the coverage was tight. Good coverage down there by Brian Reynolds. Also in on the play, Jeff Fenbert. And it brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Braves. I like the play call right there. The sideline route. But the ball overthrown by Sean Hulbert. So now the Braves are going to have to pick up some substantial yardage here on 3rd and 10. Out of the shotgun, Hulbert immediately rolls right. He tucks it under. He's going to take off. Inside the 20. Makes contact, falls forward for a few more yards, and gets down to about the 16-yard line. Now, it didn't pick up a whole lot. It's going to break up another 4th down situation, but unlike the previous 4th down of 4th and 1, this one's more like 4th and 6 to go. The Braves at the 17. They're in the red zone, but all that really matters right now is picking up 6 yards on this next play, or their season could be over with for all intents and purposes. Clock down to 3:15 to go. Here comes the snap from center. Hulbert looks right. He's going to throw it right side, and the ball's going to be knocked away, almost intercepted by the Timberwolves as Giovanni Bertucci gets in there and knocks it away, and that could pretty much do it for LaConner as the Timberwolves will take over on offense, leading at 12-0 with 3:08 to go in the ball game. And most importantly, at this point, in terms of the clock, LaConner has no timeouts remaining. So the Timberwolves can take their time, just run the ball up the middle between the tackles, and as long as they don't fumble, they could almost run the clock out without even picking up a first down. And if they do pick up a first down, it could essentially be over. So here's Ryland Kolb under center now, sending a man in motion. He'll hand off. This is Reynolds working right side, falls down and maybe picked up a yard or so, and it almost looked like he fumbled the ball. And some of the Braves players are saying yes and went the other way, and it was a fumble. The Braves did come up with the fumble recovery and will have an ideal situation to put some points on the board. The Timberwolves just had to hold on to the ball and run the clock out. And on the first play from scrimmage, they cough it up, and LaConner comes up with it and keeps their slim hopes alive of winning this semifinal game. 2:52 to go. The Braves will take over on the 18-yard line of the Timberwolves. Hulbert back in the game. 4 wideouts, 2 to either side. Takes the snap, throws into the end zone. This one's going to be incomplete. Almost a shot there by Jeff Fenbert to intercept. He just couldn't get a beat on the ball quick enough, and it does fall incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now for LaConner. Again, trailing 12-0 with no timeouts remaining for them. And they have to score not only twice, but both have to be touchdowns. You won't see them kicking a field goal in this game. Snap from center. They throw a screen right side, up with the ball on the reception. Jimmy Brooks scoots forward for a few yards. They need a whole lot more than that as the clock continues to run. LaConner cannot stop the clock. They get the call from the sideline from head coach John Lee. They'll send 2 men wide to either side again. 1 man in the backfield. And out of the pistol this time, Hulbert will take the ball. He'll pitch it left side. Here's James coming around the left side, gets around 1 man, now another, and gets knocked out of bounds, but there's a flag on the play, and there's probably going to be blocking in the back or a clip being called on LaConner. And I think the guilty party may be Jimmy Brooks. That'll stop the clock with 2:08 to go, but more than likely we're going to be backing up LaConner after this play, and yes, indeed, it is going to be against the Braves. Now, this is a situation where I often say maybe you don't take the yardage and take the down, because they're looking at a 3rd and 9 anyway. But the Timberwolves will take the yardage and back them up 10 more yards. That will place the ball at the 28-yard line.
10-yard penalty. Puts the ball on
So,
the 28.
at the 28, Sean Hulbert and the Braves will go back to work. 2:08 to go in the game. And the snap from center. Hulbert back to pass. He's going to throw deep, a wobbly pass. It's going to come down into the hands of a defender. That is Ryland Kolb, who's going to return it 30, 40, up the near sideline. Fakes a man past midfield and finally gets gang tackled and ridden down inside the 40-yard line of LaConner, and that should pretty much wrap it up right there. Pretty much a desperation pass by the Braves, needing to get some big yardage after that last penalty. Instead, the ball gets picked off and returned in a big way by Ryland Cole, who doubles as the quarterback for the Timberwolves, and now they could almost just kneel it out. 1:51 to go. They probably are going to need to run a full play, at least one, maybe two. Again, LaConner with no timeouts. Not exactly a victory formation. They got a full house backfield, one-man split to the right. Kolb under center now. Will take the ball and hand off. This is Reynolds, right side, breaks through for a good 5-yard gain. That'll start the clock up again. And now the Timberwolves can start working on that play clock and let it drift down as far as possible before running a play. The clock now down to 1.5 minutes to play. It'll be a 2nd and 5 for the Timberwolves. And their previous possession, they ran one play and fumbled. They could have taken off almost the entire clock on that possession there. Instead, they had to bring their defense back out, come up with an interception, and now work on the clock here. Work it left side this time. Reynolds get tripped up, a little short of the first down marker, as the clock now is down to 1 minute to go. The Timberwolves will, without question, have to run one more play, but they could probably let the play clock run all the way down, do a kneel down, and then on 4th down, just let the clock completely run out. Let's see what they do here. At 40 seconds to go, play clock at 12. They could indeed do a kneel down here and probably let the clock run pretty much out. Kolb takes the snap now with a second to go on the play clock, hands off to Reynolds. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and dropped. 22 seconds to go, and that's going to do it. The Timberwolves will not have to run another play and can let the clock run out on this semifinal matchup with LaConner. And it is the Morton-White Pass Timberwolves that will be moving on to the championship game at the 2B level. They will move on and play next weekend as the clock is now all zeros, and the Timberwolves win it by the final score of 12-0 over the LaConner Braves. So Morton-White Pass, the Timberwolves, winning the game again by the score of 12-0, and will come back and play 1 week from tonight right here at the Tacoma Dome in the championship game for the 2B title. And that game will be against the winner of tomorrow's other semifinal game between Waitsburg Prescott and Lind Ritzville Sprague. That one being played over in Eastern Washington tomorrow. So congratulations to the Morton-White Pass Timberwolves. They're going to the title game for the 2nd year in a row and hoping to come away with a trophy this time around after losing in the final last year. Well, that's going to wrap it up here from the Tacoma Dome. Mike Brown saying thanks a lot for listening and watching here on the WIAA Network. Our broadcast brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires. Again, the final score, Morton-White Pass, the Timberwolves 12, and the LaConner Braves 0. From the Tacoma Dome, Mike Brown saying thanks again for listening here on the WIAA Network. So long.
The future of our state is very important to Washington dairy farmers.
And it starts with our youth. The Dairy Farmers of Washington have been partnering with the WIAA for years. Sports are very important in building good work ethic.
They help students by teaching them discipline, teamwork, dedication, and preparing them for the challenges that they're going to have later in life.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington encourage you to support local youth by attending WIAA championship events.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.